How would it change your life if you ended the diet cycle once and for all and took back control, allowing you to eat guilt-free and maintain your weight? Welcome to our podcast, Fuck the Diet Cycle, with myself, Lauren Knight, and Abby Lodge. This is for you if you want to cut through the diet industry bullshit and finally end that cycle. Grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's dive straight in, shall we?
If you had have asked me at the beginning, well, not even at the beginning, before I had started my weight loss journey, that question, I would have said it will never happen. Never in my wildest dreams will that ever happen. This is the person that I am meant to be. Abby, who is overweight, who struggles with her emotions, who struggles with food, who binges, who turns to food. And I couldn't see a way out. But obviously on the flip side, I am now 2.5 years in maintenance, ended the diet cycle, have a really good relationship with food. It is honestly life-changing. But to get to that point, it's a journey. We're always going on about weight loss journeys, it's not a diet, all this type of stuff. The difference with a weight loss journey is when you start at the beginning, you can't really imagine what your life is going to look like. But you have to start imagining, you have to start doing that work on how your future self is going to look and how that future person behaves and acts. So for me, it was, does my future self, if she gets stressed or whatever, go and eat 10 slices of cake and down loads of fizzy drink to deal with her emotions? Or does she go and do something else? So, with the horses or kickboxing or whatever. But starting to build a picture at the beginning of your journey of what that person is going to look like when you obviously get to where you want to be. It's really hard to kind of attach yourself to that at the beginning because you can't see like where it's going to end up. But you'll have an idea of how you want to be, even like the clothes that you might want to wear. You might see whatever like clothes and the things that you might do. It might be something like, at the moment you can't walk very far, but you want to be one of these mums that walks to and from school, or whatever it is. Start to become familiar with that person so that you can start acting like them, so that when things get tough, you have to ask yourself, would my future self thank me for this? Is this how she would behave or he would behave?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would have been the same. I'd been like, well, I've never been able to do it before, so what's different?
Mm, mm,
I've battled with my life, like with my weight all my life. My mum's battled with her weight. My nan's battled with her weight. My aunt's, it's obviously just in our family genes. That would have been my first response. But that's just a safety blanket.
mm-hmm.
That's just a safety blanket for you to go, well, I'm not going to commit to this because I don't know if I can actually do it. And then when you don't do it, it's like, oh, I told you I couldn't. But what if we took away that safety blanket? What if for the first time you actually said, I'm not on a diet? For once in my life, I am just going to take back control and I'm going to show myself that I can still eat cake. I can have an ice cream. I can have a Chinese or drink alcohol. But I'm not going to restrict myself and I'm not going to stop myself from doing this. And I'm going to push and I'm going to push until I make my future self proud. Or are you going to continue getting in front of yourself and saying, well, I've not done it before. This isn't possible. And then in years to come, look back and go, shit, Abby and Lauren are still changing people's lives. Mm-hmm. And I could have been one of their stories as well. Because I know that that's how some of my clients feel. Like, I've been doing this for 7 years now. And I know some of them reach out to me and go, I've been following you for years. And I know that I could have been your story already, but I've only just built up the courage to do it now because I know what I want my future to look like. Like for you, Ab, currently, you are living in a caravan. For the right reasons, like your house is being renovated, but you've been in that caravan for a long time. Like you've been through winter, all of you are in there, you chucked a puppy in the mix of that because you just, why not? It's a lot of stress. What would the older version of Abby, can you remember what that would have looked like?
I can remember, and it was actually only the other night that I was thinking about this because our oven in the caravan is fucking useless. I think I could blow on food and it would cook it quicker. So because we have gusto, obviously everything that is, if it says like put in the oven for 20 minutes, now you're putting it in for 40 minutes and it still isn't going to be done. And it really, really frustrates me. And I actually said to James, we would have lived off of takeaways because I would have used that oven as an excuse. And yes, don't get me wrong, we still do have a takeaway, you know, when we fancy it, but we're not having it every single night, and we're certainly not having it every single week. Just, you know, if we're busy or whatever, doing something, or for my birthday we got an Indian because that's what I really wanted for my birthday. Um, but yeah, I would have used every single. So there's been a lot of inconveniences with this house renovation. Let me tell you, if anybody's going to renovate their house, don't move into a fucking caravan. Move into a house. Just. It has been a nightmare in this caravan. There has been so many things happen, crop up. We run out of gas one night in the middle of winter, and it was like minus numbers. It was Baltic in there. All of these things would have been a reason for old Abby to have eaten everything in sight. One, because maybe I was trying to make myself warm through. But it would have, just because any small inconvenience to my life would have been a reason to eat. But now I'm like, yeah, okay, my living situation right now is shit, absolute shit. There is no two ways about it. But am I going to sabotage everything that I have worked for, everything that I've done, just for something that's so temporary in my life? Like, there is an end in sight. You know, we've been saying there's an end in sight since Christmas, but I'm confident there is an end in sight. I'm not willing to sabotage everything that I have been through and done just because of this caravan and use that as an excuse. That is how I majorly differ from the person that I was before. And even dealing with like stress and emotional situations in a caravan, like, you can't get away from anyone. And it's really, really hard. But again, I don't turn to food for my emotions now. I don't turn to food when things are tough or whatever. I started kickboxing. I absolutely love kickboxing. You know, go and get kicked 10 bells of shit out of, and take it out on the pads. But again, that is something for me and only me to vent and to let out, you know, all these feelings and emotions. It's so important that that future person of you actually has a way of letting off steam. And right now, if you are at the beginning of your journey, you're going to be thinking, well, the only way that I can let off steam is by eating, because that was me, you know, and that's for many people. The only thing that they have in their life is food. The only comfort they have, the only pleasure they have, whatever it is food. Starting to think about what you would want to do. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to do kickboxing at the beginning. No, not at all. That just came about. But even getting outside with my horses, I wasn't really doing that or anything. Now I'm out there every single day just to let out my emotions and get back in my own head, basically, and not kind of let all the stress get to me, rather than, oh, you know, this has happened, whatever, let's just eat this shit tonight because why not, I'll start again tomorrow. Because there's no starting again tomorrow, because tomorrow never comes. And when you've got to go, you don't need to start and stop anything. You're just living your life and taking every day as it comes. But I'm only at this point now because when I started my weight loss journey, there was Christmas, there was Halloween, there was fireworks, there was God knows what else all going on. I used that support that was available to me, and I worked through these situations so that when my life did get really stressful and I did move into a caravan with lots of people and 2 bloody dogs, I wouldn't regain all my weight.
Yeah, and I think when you think about your future self, you need to be honest with yourself. So I'm going to go through a few things that my clients have said that they would love to be able to do. So one of the ones that gets me the most is, my child is now 4 and they've never been swimming before. And I'm like, okay, why is that? And the reason why the child hasn't been swimming is because they are too embarrassed as a parent to get into the swimming pool. So their weight is holding them back, which is having an effect on her child, which she feels absolutely shit about. So her future self will thank her for the fact that she doesn't need to feel that mum guilt anymore.
Right.
She doesn't go to like toddler groups or anything like that, because not because she doesn't want to see people and embrace that, but she feels so embarrassed that she'll be judged. I mean, what kind of shit society are we in that we need to feel that way anyway?
I
But
know.
we boil back to the fact of she feels that way about herself, so therefore her weight is holding her back from doing these things in life. I've had clients that have got bucket lists, but unfortunately, due to their weight, they wouldn't be able to complete it. So, like a skydive, bungee jump, wing walking was one of them, which I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. But they get weighed before they're able to do those things. And right now, they're not at that weight. Then we've got surgery. Like, we're talking about life-changing surgery for health reasons. People aren't able to have because their BMI is too high. Now, all of these things are impacted by our weight. And this isn't vanity. This is about things that you want to achieve in life that your weight is holding you back. Going on a roller coaster, sitting on the aeroplane without worrying if the seatbelt's going to go around you, or needing a toilet and not fitting in them damn tiny little toilets that are a struggle for the best of times. All of these things, your future self will thank you for making that change here and now. And it's things like that that we kind of shut away in our head because we don't want to face them. But actually, we need to face them, because when your weight starts affecting you negatively in that way, and you're going to die, because that's what's going to happen, guys. You're going to die and have regrets. And the only regrets that you're going to have is that you never dealt with your weight issue. Yeah. And again, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep on saying it. So is Abby. We are not talking about a diet here. We are talking about changing your relationship with food so that you can take back that control. You can still enjoy food for the right reasons, allowing you to achieve these things in life that you actually want to get to. So just take a minute right here, right now, and be honest with yourself. Are there things in life that you are currently doing or stopping yourself from doing because of your weight? A massive one for me was I stayed in a job where they treated me like shit, and I cried every single damn day because I didn't have the confidence about myself, not in my ability of my job, but about the way that I looked, to go and have job interviews. So I stuck in that job being treated like shit, which affected my family at home because of my weight. I'm sure we've all got things that we wish that we weren't doing or could do, but don't because of our weight.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And it's people listening are gonna think, oh God, they've gone a bit deep today, like whatever. But these conversations need to be had. You need to be looking at things that are holding you back right now that you want to do, and start behaving like you are doing them or you can do them, to then shape the way that your life is going to look. And you will look back one day and be like, oh my God. Like, I remember the first time that I went down a slide with Lenny after losing my weight. And I was like, he was like ecstatic. But for all those years, I hadn't gone down a slide with him because I couldn't fucking fit. Then I can fit, I can fly down a slide and have fun with my son. Like, these are all the things that you need to think about to shape your journey and to make you behave the way that you want to behave.
Yeah. And to end the podcast, we're going to end it on the question, how would it positively impact your life if you were able to take control back and reach your goal weight and end the diet cycle? Thank you for listening. If you loved it, don't forget to press that subscribe button and the little bell so that you never miss a future episode. We will be back here with a new one on Sunday at 7 a.m. We'll see you then.